Welcome back to Ultramorons. I'm your host, as usual, Lane, joined with
Connor, back again.
Now we're continuing on Raven Guard, episode part 3.
Yes.
Mega Raven Guard, episode 12-hour Raven Guard. Let's go.
That's it. Who wants a Horus Heresy Super Pets 24 hours?
You know, what we're going to do actually at the end of all this stuff, with the Siege of Terror, we're going to do a super cut where it's every single video makes it one big video everybody can watch. Be 26 hours of non-stop Horus Heresy stuff.
It'll start really awkward, but it'll get there in the end.
Yeah, a lot of details actually won't make sense, but don't worry, guys, it's gonna be awesome. But anyways, yeah. So last time we left off, we talked about him finally getting through the vault, and then getting all the information, goes back to his planet, and starts building these new fancy Raptor Raven Guard.
Yes.
And Alpharius got beat up by one of them, and he was a little embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm not crying, you're crying." And Alpharius is gonna have an identity crisis.
Yeah.
So, and also Omegon is on Kyavar, making that whole thing happening there.
Oh yeah, with the mechanic is kind of
the what's it called? The
rebellion.
Silent rebellion thing going on here.
It'd be so cool if you rebel, but don't make it super obvious.
Don't make it super obvious, and if you don't, I'm going to kill you. So you really don't have a choice here. So, and also Agapito is apparently becoming a little questionable.
Yeah, a little. Was it him and Bran are kind of
arguing, and Bran's like, "What's going on with you, man?" He's like, "I don't know what's going on with me.
Nothing.
Stop! Don't leave me alone in my room." He's like, "Leave me alone. He's fine." It's like, "What? What do you mean leave me alone?" Salvage stuff, possibly. So we're going back in time again, back to Lysaeus when Corax was a child. He might be a teenager at this time. It's got mid-assault. There's a vehicle compound gate that the rebels need to cross to the airless wasteland outside. Corvus has already sabotaged the lockdown from a prior unseen infiltration. And the master door finally opens. The guards on the other side are waiting with a heavy stubber angled low at leg height. And they basically just buzzsaw these rebels down at the legs. So they're crawling to the ground like cotton from King of the Hill. And shot through their knees and shins is blown apart. And Corvus finds Lenza, that girl that saved him when he was a kid. Didn't save him, but she was there when he was taken out of his pod. Oh. And that guard grabbed her hand and he said, "Don't grab her." And he breaks her wrist. "You're hurting her. Stop." It's like, what's the creepy ass one where he's like, is this guy bothering you? The stewardess. "Hey, you tell me, and I'll go up there and I'll do something about it right now."
Except he's like literally a 5-year-old.
Hey, don't touch her. Hey, don't touch her. Looking up at him. "Hey, leave her alone, dude. She doesn't know you."
This guy bothering.
Yeah, I've handled guys like this before. So he finds her and her foot is off. And he looks at her and she feels a little bit better. And, she sees him moving towards her. All of a sudden, a second hail of bullets tear her up. So Corvus goes, "Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I'm not allowed to have friends anymore." So he gets focused on, he rolls under the gate and kills a gun crew with their own weapons, basically turning on. He's doing the whole Rambo thing. Yeah. He picks the gun up, blows through him, and basically says, so nobody else can get torn up by that gun. And he goes through a bunch of kind of series through these flashbacks. Basically, what he teaches him is that he needs to learn just to move through loss over and over again. Do not get caught up in the grieving process. So yeah, now we go back to the Raven Delve in the modern time, where Navar Hef is watching the selection of the first round of Raptor implantation. The only way it's done here, right? A covered box of hexagonal nuts, black meaning yes, and white meaning not this time. 1 in 3 odds. His squad leader Molo draws black just ahead of him in line, and Navar barely has time to whisper congratulations before Brandon calls a cutoff at 100 and sends the rest back to their dorms. Basically, it's a random selection. You reach your hand to a thing, pull out a thing, and then if you're chosen, you get to go through the process.
And these are regular humans. They're not Space Marines?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they're about to get started into the selection process.
Right. But then, can a Space Marine become like this ultra?
No.
No.
It's too. They're already kind of.
So they already have those.
It's kind of like the Primaris thing in the modern lore, where like some can handle it, but most can't. It's just too much on the body.
Okay.
So yes, this guy gets ready to go. Navar missed the first 9, and now the second 100 too. And he says, "Look, man, you won't be Raptors soon enough." Remember, Navar Hef is not Brand Nev. His Brand Nev is different.
Yeah,
I think it sounds similar in name, so I just want to make sure that it's not confusing there. Navar Hef, Brand Nev.
Yeah.
So yes, this guy is just a regular recruit ready to go, and he says, "No, don't worry, man. You'll get one of the right ones eventually." And he says, yeah, but like a week feels like forever when you're like this close. Like I'm ready to go. And it's like, oh man, maybe next week, buddy. And you're like, I don't know. Come on. I'm ready, coach. Put me in. Get me off the bench. So, second wave Raptors transformed, 2 died in the process, but the rest is as strong as the first. Corax lays it out. He says, we're going to go to a world called Narcis. Home to the perfect fortress, which is built by the Emperor's children under Fulgrim after they brought the world to compliance. Staying close enough to several Forge worlds that it's almost certainly about to become a staging point for the war. Alone Eye speaks for the room. He says, typical arrogance of Fulgrim. No fortress is perfect. It's like, that's not what he means. Okay. Oh, how about you don't talk until he doesn't afford to say, buddy?
Wow, thank you for that insightful comment. Anyway,
it's like a business meeting or like a work meeting where they're like, so that's a good question. And it's like, no, it wasn't.
Good comment, good insights there. Anyway,
thank you for adding something. So continuing on. So none of them are actually ready for an actual siege, though. Like, they don't have the materials for that. You need big cannons, tanks, all these different materials they just don't have. You know, a place that could probably have this Kaibar. So he says, but like Corax, like, don't worry, I have a plan. Don't worry. I'm thinking. So before anyone throws a Raptors at the fortress, Solaro proposes something smaller. He says, let's just do a small little test. A word-bearer's monitoring station on a dead moon called Cruciax. It's close enough to get there fast and unimportant enough that they won't really notice it. And Corax says, fair enough. So he commits first 500 Raptors fighting independently of the Talons, Falcons, and Hawks as Legion's new first strike formations. Basically, Raptors now go first. Your first strike guys. And he says, I'm going to go with them to watch them fight. I want to see how they do it. So it's a small thing, one ship, no big, whole deal. This is just a little mission. It's like what game is it where it's like you have your main missions, but then you can do the side missions? It's so like many. I guess like Fire Emblem kind of has that where it's like you have the story mission, but you can do like side, like killing bandits missions. It's kind of like that, right? The side mission that doesn't, they just kind of test out your guys. So Corax says, I want it to be ready to launch a full-scale attack on the Emperor's Children garrison within 50 days. We must strike back at the traitors soon. Arcadus asks whether any of this has the Emperor's approval and what support the Legion can expect. Corax basically says, no meaningful contact with Terra since the Vault. Autonomy granted and nothing else. Corax says we can expect no other forces for the moment. It's just the Raven Guard and nobody else. So Arcadus commits his own custodians of the Narsh operation. Basically, he says, we're going to capture some Emperor's Children, relay the Terror for questioning. That's his kind of goal here. And he says, remember that though you may fight alone at the moment, there are others who will be waging this war too. So, the Alpha Legion implant paired at the base of the Infiltrator's spine picks up an alert broadcast from a hidden Legion transmitter somewhere nearby. He leaves the patrol under the cover of a rad pocket. He says, oh, there's radiation. Oh, I gotta leave. And finds a collapsed power pylon hiding in the relay point. The implant does the rest, carrying his report out in the effort code. A new formation is designated the Raptors, the gene tech is stable, and the Ingress group the target is already established. Omegon comes back live instead of leaving a recording, and he says, well, Alpharius says, effort, Hydra, contact 2, implantation sequence scaled up, full processing imminent, estimate return of enemy to military threat within 70 days. Orders. Omegon says, report understood, contact 2, orders to stand by remain. So, just keep waiting. We'll find our opportunity. But the Infiltrator feels like he hears hesitation. Like, there's something here. Like, he almost didn't expect them to be moving this quickly. And that if Omega doesn't act soon, that it's going to be too hard to break down this system here.
Right.
Or break down the Raven Guard here. And whatever they're building up. So, back on Cruciax, Bran leads a diversionary assault in person, 30 Raptors in freshly painted armor, hitting the station's exposed side, while a second force comes in unseen from above. It's the first time he's ever fired another Legion, same as every other Raptor beside him. And none where it's fun either. So this is a new kind of thing here. You have to kill other Space Marines. So, but the absence turns out to kind of actually be important, because Bran has spent months struggling to relate to Legionaries who lived through the Dropsite Massacre. But the Raptors, he's not there. He has to deal with this, but they don't. They're like, okay, kill him. I got him. I love killing traitors. A word bearer squad breaks from the side door and catches his flanks, dropping 2 Raptors before when the heavies autocannons drives him back out of sight. Bran checks his chronometer, his little watch, 22 seconds until the real attack lands from above. He's proving the Raptors today, and he's proving himself right alongside him. He says, I still got it. So Sergeant Doors' squad drops through, a melted blast a hole in the roof alongside 200 Raptors, Alpharius among them. Temporarily attached as honor members of the new formation. They fight. Alpharius takes down what he thinks is an ornately helmed word bearer. The helmet turns out to not be a helmet at all. A small horn juts from the dead traitor's brow, canine teeth, crowded jaw, too long to be human. Blood pouring from the wound is black and thick. Alpharius empties another burst into the ruined skull with a shout of disgust. Ooh. Which is, Alpha Legion doesn't do that. You don't make noise when you kill somebody. You don't go traitor, you know, you keep it quiet. And Dorn didn't really talk about it either, so I don't know what that was. Anyways, let's keep moving. So this is a word bearer, right? So this is unburdened, right? We talked about these guys before. Galvor back. It's so crazy. He just died so easily. So it's like,
but then when the custodians come around.
But then I guess it's kind of like paper, rock, scissors, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you know, the custodians actually are weak to unburdened, but regular Space Marines can very easily handle them. So they keep moving. They are kind of realizing something though as they fight, right? Like they just kind of saw a semi-demon thing here, and they're like kind of collecting what they remember about these kind of warp phenomena stuff. Especially Alpharius, because he is, you know, Primarch, and they're made of warp stuff a little bit. So he's kind of recalling some weird dreams he had before, and now kind of a recollection of them, and like what it maybe have meant, right? These prophetic dreams that so many of them get. So another part of the place here, 2 squads of Raptors are pinned at a set of double doors. Horns. Oh my goodness, I got it. 2 squads of Raptors are pinned at a set of double doors when Doors squad arrives. I got it. There it is. Double Dorn, Door, Double Dutch, Double Dare, the physical challenge. Too much. So Bolter fires crisscross in the room. It's a whole shootout. And the Raptors don't wait, and they charge them directly, and they're just taking the hits. And they basically, one of them says, "Keep it up, old fella," to Sergeant Dorn. "I still got it." He says, "You cheeky bastard. Support fire. Come on. Support him." He's like, these guys get a little too to him, right? These are my new athletes. So it is a massacre in the Raptors' favor. They are sorting out these Emperor's Children here, these word bearers, just not Emperor's Children, sorry, word bearers here. And it is just a mess. And Alpharius recalls watching World Eaters tear through salamanders and says, it's kind of reminds me of that. This violent efficiency is very World Eater like. So as he's watching the Raptors finish off the last of the word bearers, Alpharius' mind goes somewhere else. What would they look like wearing Alpha Legion colors, tearing through Ultramarines or Dark Angels with that same type of fury? 50,000 of them, seasoned in real battles, guided by me. Maybe Horus should respect us. And then he starts to have a realization. It's not about stopping the Raven Guard. It's about strengthening the Alpha Legion. Oh, I get it now. So Thor cuts the celebration short the moment the last word bearer falls. The reactor is rigged, and their extraction is inbound. Basically, they'll blow up this space station. And the squads have 60 seconds to get to them. You think they would have just like had it remote detonate, but no, that's not fun.
No, we have to set a timer, guys.
Just really cool. Run out like a cool epic movie. So the Raptors withdraw as fast as they attack, vanishing into a sandstorm squad by squad. Alpharius makes the last Thunderhawk just as the reactor goes up behind him. A red fireball swallowing the facility hull. Death Star blows up. And Corax has a little voice, sends a little communication out. Says the Raven Guard have shown that they cannot be ignored in the battle plans of our foes. The Raptors have proven their worth and earned their first battle honor. The fight against Horus has begun. So it only took 10 minutes. That whole operation took 10 minutes. And Alpharius says, man, that was a lot. They did a lot in 10 minutes. I need to let Omegon know that maybe we need to move and do something quickly here. So Corax opens the report to Legion Command, sounding pleased. He says, this is a great success. And XCOM, that's what I was thinking of. XCOM, where it's like you can like go fight the alien bases, or you can do like little side missions where you have to like protect the people or go get this like resource.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay. Anyways, so Corax says, you know, they were just, some of them died, yes. They got a little excited. They couldn't help it. It's how it goes. And Brandon says, they were foolhardy, Lord, not exuberant. While combat is a risk, there are many that took unnecessary gambles that not only cost valuable lives, but potentially threaten the success of the mission. And Agapito says, he actually agrees with him. He says, yeah, he's got a good point. So what, you guys always fighting? And he says, the Perfect Fortress aren't going to let us do those same mistakes. So if we take them to the Perfect Fortress in the state of mind, they will be slaughtered. It is no place for rash action. And Corax says, all right, I understand. But did they not remind you of your younger selves a little bit? That overeagerness? Agapito says, fair, but there's a difference between 2 adolescent prison boys and several companies of transhumans armed and armored with the best weapons that we currently have available. So it costs a little bit more here than just 2 little guys running around, you know?
Yeah.
Corax says, you're a little too clever. I don't like it.
Good point.
Good point.
Shut up.
Here's my point. Shut up and go away. How about that? He says, what I'm planning for Narcissus is 10,000 legionaries, twice what we currently have, which means casting equipment far wider than veteran novitiates, drawing from deliverance and Kaibar both. Taking younger and less fitting candidates the new G scene can handle. Agapito says, well, hold on, wait a minute. That seems like a bad idea. We're kind of like just picking regular people here. It's like they're going to be undertrained. It's going to be less prepared warriors faster. Corax says either we turn over Raptor production to its full potential, including casting our recruitment wider, or else give up any desire to strike our forces. Or at the moment, it is a simple case of numbers. We do not have them in our favor. And Agapito says, I mean, come on, Brand, you agree with me? And Brand's like, does have a good point. He's like, oh, here we go again. And Brand's also kind of biased because he says, well, I would have 5,000 Raptors under my command.
But I have an army of super cool guys.
Yeah, so maybe actually is a good idea. So maybe Corax, that's a great idea. Actually, how about 10,000? How about 50,000? How about 40,000? Give them all hammers. Give them all war hammers. I have an idea. And Agapito says, if you recruit on a scale like this, the news will travel back to the traders and they will send a force to exterminate us entirely. You are getting too ambitious. And Corax says, we'll take them out before they can even send a message out. And Solaro and Agapito push back. They say, we have too few Mark 6 suits to match the recruitment pace. Too few ships to carry 10,000 warriors. And Corax says, the Raven Guard will be prepared to attack Narsh within 25 days. I waited long enough and I can wait no longer. He's like, it will be handled. I think you're arguing with me. Aren't you like my sons and we're supposed to listen to me all the time?
God, let me do my super cool thing, please.
He's going to be so awesome. Let me cook. So, Omegon is watching, kind of the Raven Guard is growing, kind of past a certain point here, and he's running out of time. His insurgent army is nearly ready. He has 50 Alpha Legionnaires with up order ship hidden in Kaibar's S-Clouds. Every day he waits, the Raptor Guard, the Raptors get harder to stop. Every day he moves too soon, he loses the prize he came for. So Megas Unithrax offers a third option. He says, a genetic virus. Tell with the information provided by your operatives. If one of your agents can introduce to the gene template being used by Raven Guard, it will halt their expansion. And Omegon says, give me specifics. I want, what are the details of that? And Unithrax says, no, don't worry about the specifics. But don't worry, its effects will be severe and the virus will be easy to extract. Because he's thinking, you're introducing a virus to Space Marines is going to kill my guys too. He's like, how would you don't worry about that part?
What? No,
we're not. What?
That would be so crazy. I would never.
What are you doing? You trying to poison my Space Marines? No. Kill me in my sleep? What? No. You're go over this guy, huh?
I mean, that's not. Maybe this goes into it. That's not scrap code, right? Because that's all.
No, that's machines. That's a virus. Yeah, a computer virus. Yeah, that wouldn't affect. I mean, tech marines maybe, but it wouldn't affect Space Marines.
Yeah.
So this is a real biological virus.
Yeah. Okay.
And Unithrax says they will suspect themselves first. The virus will mutate the gene seed from within and will appear to unforeseen side effects of the implantation process. Omegon takes the canister and the instructions with it, and he says, "All right, sounds good enough." Says whatever this does, the Raven Guard's future is. He says we're about to make it happen here. So the diversion lands exactly on schedule. Perimeter centers pick up a massive insurgents conversion on a rail depot, and Brand scrambles every squad to respond. The Infiltrator's own squad of Alpharius draws the Amorium in turret defense duty. Exactly the time that keeps him inside the facility instead of running outside. So he's the inside agent here. Before falling in with the others, Alpharius makes a detour to his own dormitory and retrieves the virus canister he's kept hidden inside a box of trophies taken from the guy that he's wearing his face. And he splits his own squad up on a pointless building sweep to clear the path and heads straight for the infirmary room where the gene bank actually lives. So he got the virus here at some point. Doesn't really say how, but Omegon gets to him.
It was actually there 10 years ago.
He actually, the original Raven Guard's face, he took it from, actually had it the whole time 100 years ago. It's like, what are we doing?
What?
I mean, it's, whatever though, And
Alpharius was actually under one panel in the ship the whole time.
He was there for 1,000 years. Actually, Omegon is Alpharius, and Alpharius is actually a Raven Guard who didn't know. Oh, it's like stop man. So Sixx is mid-implantation on a fresh batch of 10-year-old novitiates, and that's what I'm saying. These are kids here that you're juicing up. You're giving them the Hulk juice. You're giving them gamma radiation. And he doesn't have the time to escort the infiltrator. He says, hey, you know where it is. Go ahead. And he says, perfect. So he borrows a digikey and a stolen command override, and he gets him sealed along the stasis vault. Basically, he's locked in there with bunch of these just like test tubes. And all this genetic material is floating in suspension fluid, barely visible. And he thinks for a second, like, maybe I should just destroy it. Just smash it to pieces, and then that'll be it. They'll have no hope, no virus, no subtlety, just shattered glass on the floor. That's what Horus wanted. But, then, no, that's not how we work. So he says, Omegon already told me with Alpha Legion Destiny lies, and I have no reason to doubt him. So he gets to work. And it is this gas inside this canister that like writhes and changes color, almost like it's like a live, weird thing here. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of how the warp operates, basically what navigators have told him about the warp and like how it's alive and how it can like see you and do this stuff.
Mm.
And it might actually be like a weird warp thing. Who knows?
Mm.
It's chaos and virus. So he puts it in and starts feeding into the machine, mixing the sequence, trying to be as quick as possible because at any moment now they could be, all right, guys, let's get back. We're good. Hey, what are you doing in there? What? Nothing. I was making it even better. So he finishes the input just as an alert confirms that the process is complete, produces a template in the chamber, and wipes the log entries that were shown as ever there. Not totally wipes them, right? You just, like, it's like your history, right? If you had to delete some sites, you don't delete your whole history. You just want to delete the sites you want to see, right?
Yeah.
So now a casual check, but a full audit would catch it that there's been deleted files. He's hoping that nobody would notice because Corax is moving too quickly for anybody to take the time to do these audits.
Mm.
So he leaves a digikey where Sixx will find it, and he slips out unnoticed, breaking into a run for turret 3 where he's actually supposed to be. So a little bit later, Navar Hef is he finally got picked to get implanted, and he experienced his own transformation from somewhere just outside his body. Basically, pain is siphoned off to one corner of his mind. It can't quite touch him. Organs rebuilding themselves while he dreams of hanging at Chrysalis like a little moth. And what breaks through most often is the agony, right? It's joy, right? He finds like, I'm metamorphosizing into a space marine. And he wakes up and he's ravenous, right? He's hungry. He said, I have to eat 20,000 calories now. He's a giant built on a bed for a boy, 2/3 his length. Basically, he's Buddy and Elf, right? His legs are hanging off the side. He's just on the bed. And this orderly says, you gotta head to the rehab room where everybody else is, getting the blood off them and the kind of getting all this, because it's not a pretty process, right? You're like, your body's literally growing so fast, like rips itself apart.
Mm.
So they kind of like wash off this blood and meat from them.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this whole little like, oh, dude, nice dude, high five. Oh, you're a Raptor too? It's this whole thing. So Omegon's patience runs out at this point. He's like, all right, we got to move. Because another batch of Raptors have completed the transformation with no sign that virus ever touched them. He punches a drum and he says, Unathrax, do you have any explanation? Another batch of Raptors has undergone transformation without a hitch, no hint of your virus. And Infiltrator says, it's probably Infiltrator's fault. And Omegon says, explain to me, what is this virus? And he says, not so much warp technology as something more primordial, Primarch. The viral agent uses modified demon blood. And Omegon says, you expose my operative to the taint of chaos? Are you out of your mind? And he says, no, listen to me. A near synthetic compound utilizing trace amounts. He does not have blood as such. It is merely a useful euphemism. It contains minimal demonic power in itself, but its presence is a powerful mutagen. If it was correctly mixed with the gene template, there will be corruption. And he says, maybe you're right. So, yes, basically, which is funny that he's like, you put warp taint into my guys? Hey, buddy, what are you made out of?
Yeah.
All the Primarchs are made of warp stuff. If anything, this is going to turn all these guys into Primarchs now. What have you done?
Yeah.
Which would be kind of funny, actually. They're like, yeah, we put warp taint into the bodies of these half Primarchs. What would happen? Oh, they're all Primarchs now.
No, 1 million Primarchs.
Like, 1 million Primarchs. No. Yeah, so Omega says we have delayed long enough. It is time to begin the final phase of the project. I will organize a little testing skirmish for our new Raven Guard friends while you begin the coup. Corax will have his eye fixed on Raven Delve and will not see your preparations until it's too late. So, the Order of the Dragon is going to move on the Mechanicum in 3 days using Alpha Legion warships already hidden at high anchor near Lysaeus in a secure landing site at the Order controls outright. All that's still needed is something smaller to keep Corax's attention locked on Raven Delve while the real move happens elsewhere. And Omegon already knows exactly who to call. Ghostbusters. No. He says, greetings, Counselor Frit. This is Armand Eloquai. So Armand Eloquai is ready to go. He says, they didn't kill me, actually. I'm cool and on their side. So, back at Raven Delve, the insurgent attack escalates under the cover of chem clouds too convenient to be natural. Without Thunderhawks or Stormbirds, the Raven Guard are stuck patrolling on foot and in rhinos. I think I've told you a picture of rhinos. It's a big kind of like troop transport, like a SWAT van. Not a SWAT van. What are they called? I don't know. They're like a real military thing. Anyways,
Yes.
so Navar Hef's Rhino drops in his team in the fog, and the first contact goes exactly the drill until a stairwell blast blows lightning that vaporizes the Raptor outright. It's an Ash Baby meme. Uh-oh, there's a Psyker. But it's not. Sergeant Called says, Emperor's Oath, that's a storm cannon. Saturation fire, level that building. So basically, guild tech weapons that they never were ready for. Called poses. I'm still thinking about this. Like, all right, ready to go. Just turned to Ash, like, what? Like, this kid was waiting weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm ready to go kill these guys. Turned to Ash. So yes, they pull back and they start fighting. But one of the withdrawing Raptors stumbles and he falls to the ground, spasming, Bolter falling from his grip, and then another. And then all of a sudden, this pressure hits Navar himself, burning his climbing through his spine. His legs fall under him, that they've shattered from the inside. And Called drags Navar toward the Rhino. He says, what's going on? We got to get out of here. And they're all screaming, and the blood is filling their own helmets, and it's happening to every squad across the field at once. And he says, there's no assistance. We can't bring back to Ravendell as fast as you can. And Called says, command, urgent evacuation needed. All Raptors are down. All Raptors non-combatant. So he throws him in there, and Navar lands on top of another Raptor, Davalia, which is funny because you think that'd be a woman's name, but it's not. Yeah. No girl face marines allowed. It's not allowed. We can make these cool super half frameworks, but God forbid a woman's a woman. And he takes his helmet off, and what you see under is barely human face at all. His eyes are gone, completely red, into pin-pricked pupils, veins pulsing beneath blackened skin, and a second row of teeth erupting through the gums. Corrosive saliva hissing where it drips onto his own armor. And Navar feels claws breaking through his own gauntlet fingertips. He reaches for his sergeant. He says, Sergeant, what's happening to me? Basically, they're turning into unburdened. And Called says, I don't know. He says, stay strong, Legionnaire. Remember who you are. You are Raven Guard. He's like, wow. And he's like, oh, this is not good. And eventually, Omegon gets a contact. Says, wide-scale degradation throughout the latest batch. Degenerate, bestial, or recent recruits are worse affected. Corax has ordered nearly 1,000 of the poor suspects mutation due to some mistake in the gene replication for large-scale implantation. Apothecary Sixx housing the howls and roars like caged animals. Basically, nearly 1,000 Raven Guard ruined. And Omegon feels nothing but satisfaction. He says, makes our jobs a little easier then. And the guild instruction, the Order of the Dragon, Eloquise whole, sacrifice, uprising. None of it mattered for his own sake. The only thing was the crow is basically to be the crowbar to pry Ravendell open. And tomorrow, 29 hours out, the Alpha Legion makes its actual move. So, Navar sits with 20 other Raptors who, apparently, as lucky ones, just have jet black talons instead of the worst mutations. They're just like, oh yeah, you just have cool claws now. It's like, oh, well, cool. You can still do your job then. Some of them, but the rest of them spines are bent double, muscle grown insane and engorged, bony growth, splitting skin, fangs through lips. Basically, it's all nasty.
Okay. Now, if this happened to the word bearers, do you think, all right, nice, this would be great. This is exactly what we wanted.
I mean, it's kind of the scientific way to make unburdened, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, really, yeah. I mean, Lorbear would have loved to have this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I can make 1 billion of them. We can kill every custodian. So Sixx is like, it's temporary. We can refuse it if the mutated strains can be isolated. And Navar says, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's like, I didn't think it was going to work. You're dealing with chaos, everybody. And Navar and the others crowd around the door to listen as Corax, Sixx, and Oleandros try to diagnose what's happening. And Corax says, then why are the first 500 Raptors unaffected? At some stage, we have made a mistake. Reduplication of the scale must be responsible. And Sixx says, well, the flaw sits in the primary data itself. And Corax says, well, then dormant non-human traits present in every gene seed in small amounts, somehow no longer held in check, triggered by enhanced metabolism under combat stress. He's, basically, it's like, we need to commit the full effort to reversing it. Mm-hmm. Of course, says, we will. They are Raven Guard. They deserve our greatest effort. They're my sons. So Navar carries over conversation back to the others. He says, you heard Lord Corax? They'll find a way to fix it. And the other Raptors like, yay. And they're like, I don't know, man. I got like weird claws now. And Navar's like, I don't know. I have high hopes. Clueless.
He'll totally fix it.
Corax over with like a gun. I'll fix it. Guys, he's gonna fix it.
Custodian shop. So about that.
Hey guys, Arcadis, I might need your help with something. Do you think we can kill Wait, are they demon enhanced? No. I saw what happened last time.
You just did a little different.
Yeah, these guys they're too strong for us now. What? So leaving the command council, Brand's intercepted by Euphrenia with a data slate. And he says the anomaly isn't a mysterious transmission like before, it's a tampered log. Infiltrator says, in picking apart the entwined codes, it became apparent that the core log had been tampered with. Yeah, they did the full audit. The log was accessed, and the access was crudely wiped. Which is funny. You think Alpha Legion would have like a little plugin that can like do things, but nope, I guess not.
Yeah.
And it says digital markers indicate that it was Commander Agapito. And Bran says, "What? Oh, huh? I knew it." And he runs right to his chambers and he finds them empty. And a functionary confirms that Agapito authorized his own stormboard and left the Ravendell 2.5 hours ago. More than enough time to already be there. And Bran runs for his own Thunderhawk. He says, "Oh, what? Time for what? I gotta go." So 20 hours of quiet on watch ends that warning. Our dirigible is like a Zeppelin, this is on Ravendell still, over Nabrik, bursts into flame, and 2 colossal detonations cut clean through one of the city's towers. It's the Hindenburg. But what steps out is the collapsing fire is a Titan. 90 meters of armored carapace, one arm a multi-barrel cannon, the other a plasma weapon. They were hiding a Titan in a Zeppelin. Sure.
Yeah, okay.
How did it fly? Don't worry about it.
It's just a massive one.
Transformer falls out, like, oh. Yeah. So Marco calls a folder. He says, "We got a Titan out here now." And all of a sudden, a double pulse fires in the Infiltrator skull, basically kind of like a confirmation thing. And Omegon has remotely triggered the tracking function shared across every Alpha Legion implant in the field. And it says, "It started." Columns of vehicles and 3 armored Warhound Titans push through the burning ruins toward Ravendell itself. The Alpha Legion is finally moving, and so is he. So they're about to take
Wait,
it
the
back.
Titan was Alpha Legions?
Yep. They're hiding it inside of that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what this Zeppelin is heavier for some reason. As far as extra air.
Oh, what's this like massive structure? Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, just whatever. It's, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's always just like whatever they want works, you know?
Yeah.
Whenever the Alpha Legion's like, no, of course.
No, we had this here. Trust.
Yeah, it was just painted perfectly black. You never saw it.
So a big raven.
Yeah, just paint it. It was just Raven Guard color. You just didn't look. It's your fault for not looking, really, actually. So Twin Lance punches the tower's own macro cannon before Alpharius can get clear. Shrapnel, burning debris are chasing through the airlock. He's trying to get out of there. He's like, I'm still in here. 2 of the squad are already dead in the gun room, and Dor calls retreat to Station 4. The Infiltrator's actual orders point somewhere else entirely, the main gate. He has exactly 1 obstacle standing left between himself and them. And the Infiltrator tells Mark, "Go ahead and follow Dor down the stairs." And waits till his back is turned, and then puts the boot behind his knee, and the combat knife stabs him in the back, kills him, drops him. And Marco dies. He almost cuts his head off. He doesn't just like stab him in the back, he starts sawing through his head. It's like, all right, man, relax.
Whoa, okay.
All right, buddy, easy. And as he's like feeling this guilt as he's doing it, he just goes, "I'm Alpharius, I'm Alpharius, I'm Alpharius." He's cutting through his head. It's like, he's losing it. And then he gets him, all of a sudden he gets a thing. It's like, what's the delay? And then all of a sudden, grenade starts flying towards him. Heads up. He goes, "Oh." Dor says, "Whoa, whoa." And Dor catches it, the grenade. He looks at it, he's like, "Uh-oh." The grenade explodes and it blasts him back. And the Infiltrator drops down the rail after it, bolts are already up, and puts the first round through Dor's helm before the sergeant can even get up. But Dor doesn't go down easy. One shot that he still gets up. He comes with his chain sword, he's swinging, and he's like forcing the Infiltrator to dodge back from the blow that would have taken his arm off. Before hammering a burst to the chest, it finally drops the sergeant for good. It's that Dor's, he's built different. He said, "Shoot me in the head, whatever, I'm still fighting." But then he finally takes him out. And one more round through the islands ends it for good. And he takes his chain sword and moves on. And he says, "I'm Alpharius, I'm Alpharius, I'm Alpharius, I'm Alpharius."
What'd you say?
Don't worry about it. Heads up, chuckle nuts. What? It's just an Eminem meme where he's throwing the thing. He's throwing a grenade. Man, if I was better making memes, I would do that one. Or it's Eminem, it's Alpharius throwing the grenade. So, watching the Imperator Titan, the Magnus Casi, hurl another burst of plasma, that's the name of the Titan, the Magnus Casi, hurls another blast of plasma into the city skyline. And Omegon has admitted he underestimated the order of the Dragon's Reach. He said, "Wow, you guys got a Titan. That's okay, awesome. I didn't think okay. You guys are pretty useful."
Oh, I guess they do that with the mechanics as well. I was like,
yeah.
It's like, what is happening? Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the Order of the Dragon basically, like, stole the Titan.
Yeah. That
makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
It's still a little crazy that they, like, just had, like, a Titan in the Zeppelin thing. How does it even fly up there? What are you using, like, super helium? Like, what? Should we be, like, thousands of tons? Ultra helium. It's actually super ultra future helium. There's 30,000 heliums. So, yeah, it's not good. The city's getting torn apart, and at one point, Omegon strips off his armor and sinks into a chem pool and disappears into like a little puddle. He says they don't know him in the water. It's just like he's just taking out of the water. So what are you doing? Don't worry about it. What are you talking about? Don't worry about what I'm doing. And then eventually he disappears into a panic crowd and wraps himself in a scarf and heavy robes, basically trying to blend in.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds a Skitarii checkpoint. Skitarii are Mechanicus kind of soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I am the Talon's captain reporting to Ravendale. The officer says, all right, come through. It's without question. It's like, why you even check?
Okay.
That's security. And they say, yeah, oh, there's a column assembling at Foundry Arc. Suppose, Corax's own request. And Omegon's like, well, thank you for telling me that. That makes my job so much easier.
He just has like a really basic click on all the Alpha Legion armor is still like there's
like blue armor.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, guys. Hydra Dominus. What? I said, but look out, there's a bomb. Says warning. Look out, grenade.
Chuck a grenade.
They said put your grenades, just throwing people. So I think just be quiet. Yeah, sometimes you're not. Don't worry about it. So, because it's funny, off topic, but like in Payday 2 or Payday, you're supposed to be stealthy. But they give you like grenades. It's like, I don't know if I need to have civilians, throwing grenades is a good idea. But I think in like Payday 3, they add like a perk where it's like, your grenades don't affect civilians anymore.
What?
It's just like, sure, whatever. It's like, yeah, because like you can't throw grenades if there's civilians in the room. Guys, I'm killing civilians. Why'd you give me grenades then?
I like Payday 2 when you can put like a massive sledgehammer or like a big drill in your loadout. You're like, nice. I'm just gonna keep walking in.
Don't worry about it. I get my giant saw.
Yeah.
What's that for? Don't worry. It's going to cut through a bunch of lockboxes real quick. So Agapito's moving through the collapsing facility, but not for defending it, but he's trying to get out there. And he is kind of helping people out here. He's trying to kind of correct things, make sure everything's moving. Sees a Raptor squad's gun placement is a little off. He says, aim here. All right, I got to keep moving. And basically deliberately avoiding notice. And ducks into a side range to let a passing patrol go by. And he continues on. And he says, I still need escape route open to me if things get out of hand. And he sees us like deliberately. If his presence is noticed, someone will expect him to command in Brand's absence. Basically, they can't afford the delay. Wherever Agapito came to Ravendale to do, defending it isn't the point. So what is he doing? We don't know. So the infiltrator reaches the main gate, right, Alpharius, and finds it too heavily held to seize alone. Talons for a squad of Raptors on laser cannon batteries. Sergeant Nestil personally overseeing the posterior gate for incoming reinforcements. 2 Thunderhawks descend, first disgorging genuine Raven Guard squads at the double. The second lifts off again, and something about his flight pattern catches Alpharius' eye. He says, wait a minute. That one look weird. He zooms in with his eyes. The spy kids, little things. And he says, missile locking arms disengaged. Is lining up an attack run. 4 warheads hit the gallery almost simultaneously, the blast throwing him down a flight of stairs. I'm on your side. It says, that Thunderhawk wasn't carrying reinforcements. It was a trap. It's just funny whenever there's a person trying to infiltrate something and they start blowing up the thing he's in. He's like, I'm still in here. Wait, stop. You're going to kill me. He's like, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I trust you. Like, even the Emperor. You guys figured the vault, right? No, we're dying. It's bad. We lost like 5 custodians. Yeah, it's fine. I'll make more. Macador, get on making more. I get to close the stupid webway. So, in the chaos following the false Thunderhawk strike, the infiltrator cuts down 2 Raven Guard stairwell and finds Sergeant Nestil striding through burning promethium, flames covering his armor. And he attacks without hesitation, swinging the stolen chainsword for the throat, trying to kill Nestil. Nestil deflects on a reflex, catching the blow in his shoulder plate instead. And then he does something that no ordinary Raven Guard sergeant would know to do. And he says, Hydra. And then Alpharius says, Effort. And both of them lower the weapons at once. So Nestil has been the Alpha Legion the whole time. Oh, what a twist. Alpharius says, Nestil? And Nestil says, I'm Alpharius. Ort. And Alpharius says, I'm Alpharius. Ort is the infiltrator. So the name came from the stolen face he's been wearing, so this one is Ort. And that's the name that they know him by. Basically, the veteran that Alpharius stole the face of is Ort.
Okay.
So,
and then the other one is
Nestil.
Okay.
Yeah, Nestil is normal Nestil. The dead one that got the face transplant is Ort. And all of a sudden, they hear a voice behind them that says, so am I. What a coincidence. And then Nestil turns first, and what he sees is like, you, one of us, is a commander? It doesn't say who's standing there, not yet. I think you can imagine who it is.
I wonder who it is.
I wonder if it's Agapito. No, it's actually Corax. That's so crazy.
I'm Alpharius. Like, what?
and then all of a sudden Corax says, I'm Alpharius. Like, wait, what? This is all a lie. So Corax, go back to him. He reaches the landing apron to a full-scale crisis already unfolding across 2 cities. Alpharius is relaying it faster than he can process it. Skitarii deploying. Mark 6 manufacturing under siege. Nora is requesting to join the counterattack. And then direct line from Ravendale. It's Vicente 6 and says, Brain hasn't arrived. Neither Agapito nor Solaro can be reached. And 6 lays out the danger. Warhound Titans artillery. A Gilder column half a kilometer out. Defense is possibly already breached. Corax says, have charges set, ready to destroy the gene template and all associated material. It's up to you to decide whether the risk is too great. And Ifrenia adds one more piece before he boards. The security concerns about Agapito she already raised with Brand might explain why neither commander can be reached. Corax orders Solaro to detain them both. And I realize he's ordering his own infiltrators to arrest the other. Arrest Solaro. Got it.
Okay.
So, airborne torn Ravendell, Corax orders a moment from old uprising he's never fully made peace with. The guilds kept sending endless reinforcements against Lysaeus, more than the rebels could ever match through conventional resistance. Thousands more troops with no care for the losses. Rakai, this is kind of a flashback, semi-flashback half thing. Rakai lays the brutal math. They'll come again and again. Remember, Rakai was his dad in the mines that would tell him hey, not right now. Wait till we have more time. So yeah, Rakai or Rakai, however you pronounce it, says they'll come again until either the dead are back in the cells. Corvus says, I have 5 atomic charges loaded and targeting the Kai of our cities. Guidance locked. We're gonna blow them up real bad. Afrenia, so recovering from her shattered leg, is the one who says it. Just thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands will be killed, but millions will be freed. And Corvus says, Termin, this is Corvus, launch the shuttles. So he is watching the dawn, kind of the rising sun on Kaivar, and basically these bombs are going off. And Corvus says, tell the guilders that over centuries of subjugation, they stockpiled 1,320 atomic charges on Lysaeus. I've only used 5. So let them know what's up. Bran finally answers Corax's hail. This is back in the modern times. And immediately tries to stop him from landing at all. Afrenia cuts in with something. She says, a weapons locked from orbit, Ravendell itself. And Bran says, I'm aboard the Avenger, have 4 cyclonic torpedoes loaded and aimed at Ravendell, Lord. Bran says, if there's any possibility of the guild is obtaining the gene tick, I will vaporize the entire site. And Corax says, there's still Ravengard on the ground. Right? That's where the flashback comes in. Wait a minute. If we kill them, I have to kill my own guys to save my guys. It's crazy. It's history repeating itself. And Bran grants it. He says, only a necessity. And Corax says, why did you wait for instruction from me? Oh, he said, why did you not wait for instruction from me? And Bran says, I feared you will overrule my decision, Lord. Your desire to rebuild the Raven Guard has consumed you of late and weighs your ability to make clear judgment. And Bran keeps talking. He says, Corvus, you have known me for many years, and I have never known anything. I've never been anything other than loyal to you. We will find another way to survive if we have to. Please do not land at Ravendell. So this is the same voice that stood beside Corax when Lysaeus was freed, the one that relayed his orders across 100 battlefields. Basically, it's the same guy he's known forever. But Corax is mad. He's just like, what are you don't blow it up yet. What are you talking about? But then he's kind of, all of a sudden he sees an image of Conrad Kurz's hate warped face. Basically, the brother who let passion consume him past the point of return. And Corax says, I cannot become that. Not like Kurz, never like Kurz. And Corax says, very well, Commander, remain on the station and await my order. If Ravendell is to be destroyed, it will be by my command. So, unable to raise either Solaro or Agapito, and needing thermal charges no squad can spare from the wall, Sixx risks the trip to the Armorium. I don't know, whatever. The place where the armor and guns are.
Yeah.
The elevator doors open on Commander Solaro, flanked by armed legionaries, power sword already drawn. Vincente Sixx, he says, a great mercy, Commander. I need you to... And Solaro runs him through without a word, pulls a break free and lets him drop. And Solaro says, get the digikey. And the legionary tears the command chain from the Sixx's neck as the apothecary's vision goes dark. His last coherent thought of recognition of exactly how badly he misjudged the moment. So maybe I should have been more ready to fight. So, 2 more disguised alpha legionaries hold the door. Solaro, Nestil, and Ort show the archive of everything worth taking, copying files on the crystal chips while Nestil transfers the primary material itself, darker and thicker now than it should be, into the same stasis container that once held the Sabotage virus. Megan's voice comes through the private channel demanding progress. Ort says, mission accomplished, don't worry. Omegon has one more order, and it's worse than theft. He says, destroy all of it. Deactivate the stasis fields and destroy every last scrap of gene seed. I want there to be no chance of the Raven Guard recovering from this attack. And before they burn it, he wants his data set aside separately for an operative none of the 3 in the room are supposed to know about. Norris says, another operative, there are 3 of us here. And Omegon says, that is not your concern, Legionary, do as I command. Listen to me. Listen.
So they went back to, I guess, steal the gene seed after they corrupted it, though?
Yes, they want to take the data and everything else.
Okay.
Because they still don't want to be destroyed. Even though, it's probably going to be, they're like, maybe we can get something out of this.
Okay.
Some information is better than no information.
Yeah, okay. But then,
knowledge is power.
Yes. But then Omegon's just like, get rid of it.
Well, Omegon says, he basically says, set the data aside separately for another person.
Okay.
And they're like, what? For what? There's nobody else here except for us 4, right? He says, don't worry about that. Shh. It's not for you to worry about.
Put it in a box for Alpharius.
For Alpharius. I thought you were Alpharius. No, I'm Ort. Wait, then who are you? I'm Alpharius. No, you're not. You're Nestil. Wait, what? So he's very confusing. Is Alpharius even here? We don't even know. The guy that you call Alpharius is actually Alpharius, or is it Ort? Is it this infiltrator? Whatever. A body falls through the door the moment Nevar opens it. Machete Sixx leading out from the poorly cauterized wound his robe is soaked through. He says, "Traitorous infirmary, protect the gene seed, please." And he opens the robe to reveal a bolt pistol and a hidden command key, refusing help for himself and insisting the gene seed, like, "Don't help me, just get the gene seed. Seek your future." So Venna takes his shoulder and makes a promise Sixx needs to hear before the Raptors move out. He says, "You got it. I'll take care of it." All he has is a stolen pistol and whatever they can grab from the weapons lockers. So Nevar's group runs into the Raven Guard legionary standing guard, who opens fire the instant Goro identifies them as Raptors. One of the disguised Alpha Legion still holding the corridor. Marl Man, takes a bolt meant for Goro. They were fired on pure instinct, and it's a bunch of shooting happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, if our Marls asks, if their own legionnaires are shooting at them, how can anyone tell who's on whose side? How did Alpha Legion know who's on their side? It's like, they usually don't. That's the crazy thing. And Nevar half says, gives her advantages to being a monster, right? Because he's got shot up. His heels, his like bulldogs go heal like instantly. He got Wolverine abilities. So they head back and they arm themselves in the lockers and head back together, the rest of their brothers. So in the Rad Waste outside of Ravendell, the sergeants are mustering their own squads to meet the Gilder column head on. Battlestar Kurthuri fights in the fog beside Sergeant Caban, resisting the pull of his own psychic sight, even as the temptation grows unbearable. He's really want to use that Psyker power. Remember, Sar is the Psyker.
Yeah.
He's never fully explained to himself what happened to the Vault door back at the Labyrinth, right? He's like, I still don't really know if that was me or not, though, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Emperor, or did I break my oath and just lied about it? But there are no chaplains around to enforce an Ikea edict. He's like, well, I mean, if the Emperor acted once, then maybe he can act again through me. So a little bit later, his first psychically guided kill of the battle follows moments later. He's like, "Oh, the Emperor's speaking through me."
It was totally the Emperor. Trust me,
guys. The Emperor's helping me kill these guys with lightning.
It's like one line.
Bunch of ash babies. He's destroying them all. So while Ort and Nesteel are working the stasis field controls, an argument breaks out. Ort says, "Is this really necessary? It's one thing to take the Raven Guard out of the war. It's another to wipe them out entirely. When Horus defeats the Emperor, we'll need allies to rebuild the Imperium." Nesteel says, "The Raven Guard will never serve Horus now, not after Isfahan. Corax is too stubborn, you fool, you idiot, you moron." No, Raven Guard would totally come back on his side. What? Oh, are you a stupid person? And Ort says, "I don't think it's Horus that's behind this war. It's something a lot worse. You know what I'm talking about." And Nesteel doesn't deny. He says, "This war was coming, like it or not. We had to choose a side, whether we were with the victors and the losers." Because what's funny about this is, right, so the Alpha Legion are doing this because of the whole acuity from the Cabal.
Mm-hmm.
But only Alpharius and Omega know about the acuity. So the problem is these Alpha Legion guys are just like fighting on Horus' side just because they think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It can become this weird thing of like, it's too many layers here.
Mm-hmm. Why are we joining Horus' side? Oh, I don't know. I think it's a good idea.
Because you're kind of epic and cool.
Because we be with the cool guys.
How about you don't worry about it? Alpha Legion asking questions, what? You're supposed to make the questions.
Anyway, I'm Alpharius.
Anyways, I'm Alpharius. No, I'm Alpharius. He's Ort. No, wait, he's Ort. So is, like, this is sorcery. We like, sorcery stuff. Like, that's word bearer stuff, right? That's how you get tricked, right? Chaos stuff is like, that's word bearer stuff. That's not what we do.
Mm.
And Nesteel says, with this gene tech, the Alpha Legion will be the ones who hold the balance of power. Us, not Lorgar, Angorn, or even Horus. Ort doesn't really say anything. He's like, maybe. I don't know. I'll think about it. Because it's true, right? If Alpha Legion gets this power, then it's the Alpha Legion. It's Alpharius heresy, Alpha heresy. Because, I mean, you'd have unstoppable Primarch Alpha Legion guys.
Yeah.
So, Bolter fire erupts in the corridor outside. Solaro steps out to find a group of mutated, monstrous warriors pouring through the doors of the infirmary. The Raptors are fighting into the spot. Solaro says, "Yeah, we're not fighting that. We gotta get out of here." But the disguised Alpha Legionaries holding the corridor cover the retreat, but don't survive. All but two of them go down buying time, taking at least a dozen Raptors with them. Nesteel objects to abandoning them because, he's the Raven Guard mentality. And Solaro keeps moving. The three reach the landing field. Their action already compromised. One Thunderhawk's cockpit is shattered, hull smoking. Before they can reach the second, a voice stops them cold in the spot. "Hope is a weakness. It is the first step on the road to disappointment. If you were a Raven Guard, you would know that," says Agapito. A single black armored figure sheds the edge of the pad, last cannon raised, one foot resting on an octagonal device with a status display of its own telling them it's over. Two ships are already moving to blockade the planet. Solaro recognizes the voice and immediately tries to talk his way past it. "Agapito, it's me, Solaro. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop, be cool." And Agapito says, you might have his face, but you know the Solaro that I knew. The company you keep tells me that for sure. So, actually, every piece of Agapito's suspicious behavior across the entire crisis, secrecy, the tampered logs, deliberately avoiding command, protecting his own escape, was never treachery. It was him investigating Alpha Legion stuff. So you think it was him? He was the Alpha Legion guy. No, actually, I'm the detective.
No, I was actually stopping them the whole time.
It was among us. No, I'm not a traitor, guys. I was seeing what they were doing. The way you do your tasks. Oh, don't vote me out.
Oh, I should have figured out what they were doing.
Don't vote me out. Don't vote me out. Oh my god,
Guys, if you go back, you're gonna lose.
if you vote me, you're gonna lose. I'm not gonna play anymore. So I had to stop playing Among Us because it's just like a yelling game. No, it's like not me though. Like I don't. You guys are so stupid. Whatever. Fine, vote me out then. Whatever. Lose then.
I have not played.
I've played like since like 2020.
Yeah, I was saying 2020 was the time, and I think I played like 2 games, and in the whole time I just told them, I was like, it's him, and I had no proof, and they're like, okay, and they put it on. I was like, nice.
Nice. I was a traitor. Trick you fools. So Agapito says, I didn't know about you, or whatever your name is. Unfortunately for you, your companions were not as thorough in hiding as they thought. Nasteel, how do you recognize the Phalanx? Remember that I've never served in the same war zone as the Imperial Fist Fortress. And Solaro, who else could have had the clearance to break my command codes and use my personal channel? He taps his boot on the device he has, confirming exactly what it is before Solaro can even ask. He says, I'm surprised you don't recognize an atomic charge when you see it. And they go, whoa, Tons, more than enough to wipe out Raven Dub and every traitor in it. And behind 3 infiltrators, 20 custodians step out of the fog. Halberd's already lied. Agapito didn't come alone. He just made sure that, everything was ready. Don't worry, they're unburdened here. They'll take care of those.
Don't worry, they're unburdened. They can take on all 20.
Yeah, word bearers are here now. They can kill all these custodians somehow. So it's funny that there's 20 custodians. If this bomb goes up, you're going to kill 20 custodians as well, possibly.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably going to kill Corax too.
True.
Maybe slow down a little bit, buddy.
Hey guys, maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
I don't know if we needed that big of a bomb. I think a small bomb that kills everybody like around you.
How many custodians are there? It's
20 that was here.
No,
totally
total
10,000.
10,000. Okay.
So I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but it's definitely get to replace them.
Okay, but 20 is still a pretty good
amount. I mean, they lost 5 in the labyrinth. They lost 5 because of the word bearers. They lost a couple more and they lost a lot in the
warp.
Yeah, the Webwave war.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got some work to replace those guys. But also, I think it's called the 10,000. They're called 10,000. It's not literally 10,000. I think it's a reference to Persian immortals back in the day that were called immortals because whenever they would die, they would replace them so quickly that it didn't even look like they were ever gone. So 10,000 is kind of as like there's so many of them, it's uncountable. Because back in the day, 10,000 usually meant like infinite. Like I think you have it in like some Chinese things. They have like the 10,000 paths, which just means like infinite paths.
Yeah,
it's like a number so high you can't even count to it, type of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, so it could just they literally are just 10,000, or there's just
a lot.
There's so many, and they're replaced so quickly you never know how many there are at one time.
Okay.
So yeah, so they step out of they step out there, and Agapito says, "Tell me some more. Give me some more information here. Why I got you." And he said, "Where's the price that Horus put on Corax's head?" And Ort says, "Our Primarch? You know nothing of our." And Solaro cuts his throat mid-sentence with the power sword. He said, "Whatever he's going to say, he's not going to say anymore." And
so wait, Alpha Legion just killing their Alpha Legion, like
shut up. And Ort, who was about to reveal before, basically stop him before he could reveal it. Basically, infiltrated the guilt over Lucar, the doubts about what's actually behind this war, the whole thing, basically, like he's starting to become a Raven Guard. That's why he said our Primarch. And he's like, "You're compromised." So he kills him. Obviously, that's not actually Alpharius, right? It is the guy calling himself Alpharius. And so he dies, basically silenced by Alpha Legion before he could like crack. And Agapito says, "Okay, well, I'll kill you too quickly in exchange for what you know. But if you don't, then you're going to get put in Kyveran torture cells. Trust me, it is bad. Not even Space Marines can handle it." And Agapito says, "Tell me what you know, and you'll be granted quick deaths. If not, I'm sure Lord Corax will make an exception to the ban on the red level." The red level, no. The backrooms red level, no. And Solaro says, "What makes you think you can take us alive?" Solaro drives his sword through Nasteel's own heart. In the same motion, Nasteel fires point blank through Solaro's hand, and they kill each other. He's like, "Why did I think they wouldn't do that? He just killed the one next to him. Like, why do you think they would be like, ugh?" Agapito says, why did I was like, well, all right. So the immediate threat crushed, and Brand's torpedoes finally stood down. Corax arrives to find more than 30 dead legionnaires who appear on no Raven Guard roster, right? A bunch of infiltrators wearing the Legion's own colors. Arcadis names the culprit. He says, "You have been victims of devious masquerade. My order understands intimately the means by which an intruder can enter an organization unnoticed. I believe there's only one legion capable of such deception. The Alpha Legion. This treachery bears their hallmark," says Corax. Agapito raises a harder question. So if Solaro put everyone in this completely, how does anyone know who might be compromised? It could be me. And Corax says, "My true sons will bear my mark. My genetic data is wrapped up in every cell of your bodies, while my infiltrator will bear the code of another Primarch. Sixx is already dead, so Corax doesn't get a chance to kind of, go be like, hey, apothecary. Oh, I already need a chief apothecary." So Arcadius basically says what's going to happen now. Says, "Spare them their pain. Each one of them contains a seed of what you have done here, and perhaps locked within their twisted bodies is the means to achieve what you have hoped. They're just as much a threat as the data contained in the gene vault." Agapito says, "We can't kill them out of hand. What reward is that for the service they've done for the Legion today?" And Corax sighs at me. He says, "I cannot murder them in cold blood. They have the bodies of beasts, but they have proven that their hearts are Raven Guard." Talking about the Raptors here. I don't know if I said that, but yes. And Bran weighs in over the box, and he says, "Close this door and lock it forever. Rebuild the Raven Guard to the means the Legion knows and can trust." And Corax agrees. Yes, we cannot be fast tracking this stuff anymore. It's too dangerous. But to be fair, it really wasn't until the Alpha Legion got their hands on it. You know what I mean? Like, It actually was working really effectively.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just the thought of like, if it's like, it's just so, it's too dangerous for anybody to have. So he commits the Tainted Raptors to the same fate, basically the battlefield death with honor. Basically, send them out and die on the field. Kind of like the White Scars did for those guys that were going to try. They say, "All right, we're going to send you on death missions then."
Yeah.
To die the way you should. So Corax says, "We've been divided for too long. Between those of Terror, the men who have liberated Deliverance, between those who have survived Isfahan and those who have saved us, between the veterans and the Raptors, no more. We are Raven Guard, and we shall tell the Imperium that we are united." So, a little time later, Corax stops to the bed of a bandaged Raptor and talks to him with his name. He says, "The Legion owes you a great debt, Legionary. It's Hef, isn't it? Navar Hef." And Navar tries to talk, but he's a little too beat up still. And Corax says, "Who among you thinks you're battle ready?" And the Raptors say, "For the Emperor and the Raven Guard." And he says, "All right, maybe not yet. A good spirit, but yeah, you guys need to recover."
And those are our Raptors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the healthy enough Raptors that they can still fight. I mean, they're a little mutated, but they can still fight and will go off and die in battle.
Okay.
So, while Corax addresses the wounded, a Mechanicum sentry named Catho Juliaxis, what a name, is watching over a pair of hulking Heracli combat servitors near the weapons lockers. Basically, Heracli combat servitors are walking tanks. I mean, one of these shows up on you, it's over. They are very dangerous. And the same lockers where the stolen gene tech had been sitting and waiting. And one of his charges stands over him with eyes that shouldn't be intelligent and crushes his windpipe before he can finish a single word. And Omegon has been standing in Ravendell in person this entire time, disguised as a Mechanicum reinforcement, waiting for this exact moment. So we're like, "What happened to Omegon? Wasn't he here?" "Yes, I was hiding."
Standing in the corner.
They have no idea I'm here. "Is that Omegon over there?" Oh. So yes, he would basically disguise himself as a robot. "I am a robot." And he had a clean shot at Corax walking past minutes earlier, and he let it go. He said, "Oh, I could take you out right now." He's like, "No, it wouldn't be worth it. I can't blow this operation now." So he slips the recovered data into his robe, adopts a Heracli's lumbering gait, and walks out calmly with the rest of the Mechanicum column, mingling into the tracking implant in his skull, confirms his own extraction ship is close. He then opens fire on the Skitar escorting him, leaves him out, and disappears in the waves with everything he came for. So, they got some of it.
Yeah.
So, a little later on, the genetic screening is complete. Every infiltrator who didn't flee took his own life rather than be tested. The mark of Alpharius confirmed in blood and bone, surely as any confession. Basically, they're all like, "Oh, all these guys who killed themselves, obviously Alpha Legion." So what's left of the Raven Guard stands in full ranks, including the disfigured Raptors. Their Mark 6 suits modified with cut panels and horns for their cut panels for horns, warblers, and tails, and wings. They're like, we can get that working for you. Which I always wonder, like, if you have wings like Sanguinius or whoever else, and you have to like build armor around it, wouldn't that leave like a gap in your like suit if you're in space?
Yeah, I think it would have to, right?
Yeah, like unless you have like armor on your wings, you know what I mean? Like I never understood like, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's cool. It's epic. So Corax is mounting the stage in his full battle gear, his lightning claw, which you can see in many pictures of him here. That's like his lightning claw. Sometimes a lightning whip as well. And he has his lightning claw and the power whip, right? So that whip right there. And he is looking out at all his war. He's ready to go. He says, "Belief and trust are just as much casualties of this war as are the dead who fell in Isfahan and at Ravendell. Yet it is belief and trust that will remain our greatest weapons. I have always taught you that hope is needless, that there is only action and consequence. I still adhere to that creed. There is no hope for the Raven Guard. We will do as we see fit, and the consequences will follow. We have suffered not one but two grave attacks. The first was cowardly but open, the second daring but hidden. Neither ambush on Isfahan nor corruption from within has destroyed us, so we learn and grow stronger. And he continues with, it does not matter. We are all Raven Guard. We are all warriors. The Emperor will not judge you by your medals and diplomas, but by your scars. That's not fair. I got a master's degree.
No, come on.
6 years, you say it doesn't matter? He says, that is not platitude, it is the reality of what we are. We live to fight the Emperor's battles, and we will die to bring the Emperor victory. And he turns his words to Norris' Imperial Fist and Arcadis' Custodian standing alongside his own legion. He says, we do this because mankind needs to believe that Horus can be defeated. We are few, the proud, the Marines. And our enemies are many, but every traitor we kill sends a message to our foes and allies alike. The Raven Guard will never surrender. And they go, rah, let's go. So yeah, they all get pumped up, ready to go. So a detachment breaks from the ranks carrying something draped in a Black Legion banner, led by Tech Marine Stradon Benalt. We talked about him before. And Stradon says, it's fitting that at the time when we must learn to soar once more, the Raven should have his wings restored. So all of a sudden they take away this thing, and the banner comes away to reveal Corax's own ornate flight pack. Long thought laws rebuilt with newly fashioned wings by Benalt's own hand. Because you always see like here, right? These types of like wings he has. It's like insane steel whatever wings that he flies around with his jetpack. And he can like fly around, and they're like bladed as well. So he can like spin around and like cut people up with them. It's like it's like part of his whole thing.
Yeah.
And they got
can you go back to the picture real quick? Does he have the Edna Mode cut?
Yeah, he's got a little bob. What about
it? The bob?
Yeah.
Actually, I was like, what?
Yeah, he's got a little bob. What about it? What about it? Yeah, you got a little bit of bob. Yeah.
It's
no case, only wings.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I never noticed this on a Raven skull right here.
Oh, yeah.
Giant Raven skull.
He's cool.
Like really giant Raven skull. Goodness.
Yeah.
Compared to him. I always think of this picture, I was thinking the meme with the cop jumping towards the camera. He's reaching for a gun. But yeah, so he gets his wings back, and he's like, wow, you guys are awesome. You got me my wings. And somewhere else, back at the Vengeful Spirit, elsewhere, Alpharius stands once more before Horus, Abaddon, and Erebus, plus a new face lurking in the shadows, a thin, sharp-eyed Emperor's Children warrior. Erebus wastes no time in pleasantries, and he says, what have you brought me? What have you brought for the War Master? And Alpharius plays the same game. He says, well, yeah, I brought some things and some other things. And he says, he confirms the mission succeeded, though not completely. Corax survived, but he produces a data crystal. And Horus says, this is Apothecary Fabius. You will entrust your prize to his care on my behalf, of course. And Horus says, you handed over so easily. I suspect you were hiding something. Horus says, I'm Mundi. I don't trust you guys at all. At all. Obviously, I trust you as far as I can throw you, but it's even less than that. Like, because you got to throw you pretty far.
Yeah.
But yes, Apothecary Fabius Vial now has genetic data. That's the last guy you want to have that.
Yeah.
Nasty Fabius Vial. Nasty guy. And Alpharius says, you got me. I do have another confession to make. I retained the original gene material for myself. I thought it wiser to share our fortune. Erebus says, he will unlock the Primarch's secrets, and with that information will destroy the Emperor. So yes, Erebus is like, nice going. That's going to be very valuable. They get Primarch gene data. And Horus says, all right, whatever. I don't need that. Which is odd, but...
Yeah. In fact, I want to have that.
I would take a look, but okay, whatever.
No, does that... Okay, so does all this data include... I guess it might not be detailed. Would that include the two... What is it?
Missing ones?
Yeah, the missing legions.
Kind of, yes, but not like specifics.
Yeah.
Like it might give them like what they were like. I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like something like that they would say.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
But anyway, so Alpha Legion took their data, is that right? For their
they took Alpharius took his own data as well. He got that at least.
Yeah.
And they also got some of the other data and gave it to Fabius Vial.
Yeah. Okay.
So he can work on whatever he's doing. So yes. Back to Marcus Valerius. Remember, he was doing something. He fought his way across warp storms to rendezvous with the Raven Guard, bringing the Therian's cohort vanguard. Learning his assault plan, calls for no preparatory bombardment. He pushes back and says, I'm on your side. And Brand says, 10 million civilians live in that city. Like, we can't just blow it up. Relax. And Corax explains exactly what makes Narcissus different from any target the Therians have faced. habitat towers housing defense lasers, factories wrapped in bunkers, and concealed trench lines, and a road layout designed by Perturabo himself to speed defenders and strangle attackers. Corax says, my brother declared that it was not enough for a fortification house to garrison, and to protect the population. The perfect fortress is not an area within the city. It is the city. We are here to act as messengers for the Emperor's cause, not kill his followers. We cannot spread our message by obliterating the populace. So they're about to, remember they were planning to go attack the perfect fortress.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Marcus Aurelius like, we'll always blow it up. No, you idiot. No, she'll listen. So bombardment's off the table. Aloni points to only viable landing site. Hills that sit 20 kilometers out, which is about, I can do math. Hold on, guys. I can do metric system and imperials. Hold on. Okay, 5K. If a 5K is 3 miles, 5K is 3 miles. 12 miles out. There we go. Took me a second for some reason. Probably a little more than 12. It's probably like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways. And they have no armor to spare for the distance. It's just too far. Corax orders the Therians to attack on foot, marching overnight against the city fortress with scanners and imaging waiting for them. And Valerius is like, Dad, you're going to just get my guys killed. He says, march nearly 30 kilometers overnight to attack a city fortress. That's a strategy doomed to failure. Corax says, exactly. I don't expect to take the perfect fortress by yourselves. That's why you're here. He's like, what? Huh? He's like, yeah, no, I'm using you for bait. He's like, this stinky. Which is actually kind of funny because we haven't really covered it, but a long time ago, when Horus was War Master, he ordered Corax to go take a base on some aliens. I think it was Eldar or something like that. And he basically told Corax, send your guys just run in and fight them head on. And Corax says, that's not what we do. We don't fight head on. We kind of do things. Like, I don't care what you do. I'm the War Master. Go fight head on. And he killed a lot of Raven Guard. So ever since then, he's like, Horus, you're an idiot. I don't want to do stuff for you. So it's funny now that he's like, hey, Therians, go just head on, headstrong, right in there. You're good. And Captain Haston Luthris Arminitan, like Darminitan, is a Pokemon. Whoa. Watches the Therian assault crawl toward his prepared killing ground, and he's like, their foolishness shall be the cause of their defeat, so typically weak to assault without prior bombardment. But when the Therians eventually break and retreat under the weight of the defenses, he's like, they're retreating. Fools. Easy. Weaklings. And he says, I order a full counterattack to annihilate before they can regroup. But what he doesn't realize is 8 hours in, nearly 10,000 Therians are dead, and Valerius still hasn't broken. An elderly couple whose homies occupying beg him to leave. Careful what happens to anyone sheltering him believes him has arrived. He says, you said to trust you, whether the storm and trust you. Well, Corax, the storm is upon us. He's like, please. So chasing broken Therians deep into the outskirts, Luthers finds slaughter almost boring. Lasguns against power armor is no fight at all. Then a squad below starts dying to something he can't see. Bullets detonate against empty air. Sergeant arm and head come off, and in one stroke from nothing visible at all. And Arminitan's like, sorcery. And it's Raven Guard, reflex shields, and the thing that finally goes invisible in front of him. Black armor soaked in gore, a wing pack on his back, in one hand crackling a whip, and the other glowing claws is Corax himself, personally the real assault the entire diversion was built to hide. And he goes, for the Emperor! Vulcan lives! It's like, oh wait, he's here, huh? And Navar is first out of the drop pod, gunning down unarmed gunning crew before his boots even hit the ground. And Navar says, for the Raven Guard. So they're all fighting now. The diversion works, even though a lot of people died for it.
Yeah. So what, they just made all the regular human guys go in there, like, come shoot at us, and then...
Yeah, come shoot at them, and then they'll disengage the walls to come chase you down. So like thousands of them die for this diversion. He's like, good job, guys. We'll get in there now. It's like, thanks. Awesome. What?
Awesome. Thanks. Only like 2,000 of us died.
I guess his thought was like, well, it's better than just blowing up the city with innocent civilians. Like, you guys are like, want to die in war, and the civilians don't, So it's like one of those things where it's like,
yeah,
the few outweigh the many, or the many outweigh the few.
The Warhammer logic. Guys, it's fine.
It's fine. Oh, it's only 1,000. We only need 39,000 more. So Corax is soaring overhead in his new wings and whips shredding Emperor's children apart. And more Raven Guard dropping in from the tower above. Jump packs flaring up. Imperial fists are fighting across the courtyard below. The custodians are here too, cracking open. It is so funny though. That you're like, okay, guys, put these guys as diversion. You have 20 custodians. I don't think you need a diversion.
Guys, we can't face them head on. We only have the Imperial Fist, the Raven Guard, and 20 custodians.
It's going to be a slaughter. It's like, huh?
It's not enough.
Were they unburdened in there or something? Well, how'd you know? So custodians are cracking open enemy armor on nearby rooftop with bursts of the Guardian Spears. So just to put that in context, their custodians are fighting armor. They're fighting tanks with spears just blowing them up. It's like, I don't think we needed Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Sure is quick. Go in there. Get in there.
Get in there now.
Okay.
Okay. So Corax lands beside Navar and points toward the central tower where thousands of Raven Guard are already converging. Raptors of every generation fighting side by side. Hawks and Talons setting crossfires from the rooftops. Stormers dropping up the last resistance. The whole Legion acting as one body for the first time since Isfahan. And Navar finally understands why his Primarch is grinning. The big old smile on his face. He's just like, oh. So eventually they take it, obviously. And Corax gathers his council in a room lined with red lacquered wood and marble plinths. It's the same kind of setting where he once ordered atomic strikes on Kaivar. And Bran kicks over a bust of Fulgrim and grinds it into the carpet. And Bran says, we certainly can't hold it. You know Horus will respond. And Corax says, I'm counting on it. We will not be here. When he shows up, basically. Valeria is still reeling from nearly 10,000 Therian dead. And she's like, what was that about? Like, I just don't think that was necessary. Corax says, look, you guys will stay here, reinforced by 500,000 more of your own cohort. A dozen Titans of the Legio Vindictus, and nearly 1 million Imperial Army soldiers already abound. A hot welcome waiting if Horus comes to reclaim his prize. Says, oh, okay. Okay, I can work with that.
So wait a minute, sorry. They're like, oh, Horus is definitely going to attack the space. So anyway, leave all the humans here.
Yeah.
It'll probably be...
Well, I mean, it's 500,000 more of the Therians show up. Dozens of Titans, and nearly 1 million Imperial Army as well. So, I mean... Unless it's like Horus and like all of his guys, they should be able to handle it. I mean,
I guess that's true.
A dozen Titans. I mean, good luck.
I guess like a regular like Space Marine, like
I mean, one Titan Warhound almost killed Lorgard.
Yeah,
so a dozen, I think, would sort out Horus at this point.
Yeah, as long as it's not like Horus and like okay, everybody go attack. Like, yeah, it should be fine.
Horus, Fulgrim, Perturabo, Mortarion, Angron. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, Molech. I don't know. They handled that one pretty well.
Yeah.
So the Raven Guard are already leaving, and their next targets are Warbearer's garrison at Kalgorst. Basically, hit it before Horus even knows what happens. And it's kind of what the Raven Guard do, is just hit and run tactic. Hit them, and by the time Horus finds out, there's nothing left there to come back and fight. So Horus lays out the doctrine for the whole campaign. He says, this is not the Great Crusade. There's no compliance, no garrisons. We fight as Raven Guard, as we always have. We fight and we withdraw. We hit hard and we elude the counterblow. Because that's all he can really do at this point. Remember, he's not back to full capacity yet. He kind of had to stop that whole thing. So he's like, well, we can work with what we have.
But he still has some of the Raptors, right? Or are they all dead?
No, they're there. Some of them haven't died yet. So they also, you have these super enhanced Space Marines too. So, back aboard his own ship, Omegon returns to his chamber, and he shares the Cabal's envoy one last, our Arthurius, remember that guy he's talking to was like a hand with a bunch of fingers that came out and said, this is your command, Omegon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Arthurius, whatever his name is, says, I sense that you're being duplicitous. And Omegon says, your sense is annoyingly correct. I'm so tired of talking to you guys. And the data Horus now holds, and the secret Phoebus would spend years trying to unlock, was never the real prize, right? Omegon says, then it's fortunate that the data we handed over is flawed. Phoebus will never perfect the technology. The servants of the primordial annihilator will expend countless lives and endless hours in the pursuit of the impossible. And Arthur isn't fooled about it. He's like, yeah, get to your point. Omegon says, we no longer need the envoy from the Cabal. We're capable of determining our own fate from now on. Arthur says that is not an option. The Cabal must steer this work to the correct conclusion. To do otherwise, risk victory for the primordial annihilator. You're being disobedient. Omegon says, yeah, we do that a lot. And Omegon basically carries Arthur's whole Enviroglobe down to the south. And Arthur says, stop putting me down. Hey, stop it. He says, you can't kill me. I'm invulnerable. He says, yeah. He says, I'm not going to hurt you at all, my gas-filled friend. I'm simply taking you to your ship. There is no ship. And Arthur says, I do not take my ship. And Omegon says, I'm sure it will be here maybe in a century or two. So basically kicks him out of the ship into space. So he gets vacuumed out and walks away. And now the Alpha Legion answers to Horus for exactly as long as it's useful, and not the Cabal. So they basically say, well, we're done with all you weirdos and your alien stuff. Now we're totally on Horus' side. And that's kind of where it ends for now. So what are you thinking? What's stirring up here?
I do wonder, like, if they kept following the Cabal, would Horus win? Like, that kind of, I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, because you look at what happens after this, right? You look at Alpharius trying to get to Terra, and that whole, like, I can't remember the plan, what it was called, Hades, I think it was called, or whatever like that.
Oh,
They had all, like, the Greek names. It just didn't work. Like, Dora kills Alpharius, and Omegon's like, so it's like, I just think, no matter what, it was always going to get countered.
Yeah.
And the Cabal never helped them. They just told them what to do. And that was the issue, too. Like, if they gave them tools and technology, maybe, but they never did. and also you have Eldred on the other side with was it Grammaticus?
Yeah.
Like killing the Cabal as well. So
Yeah.
at a certain point, it just wasn't going to work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because the Cabal's fault, really, and it's kind of a whole thing you see with all this stuff, is that they feel like they can just withhold information or like withhold things from people, or try to like steer in their own way, and that somebody won't do something about it. Because that's what Eldred says. He's like, the Cabal, sure, their plan is right, but it doesn't make sense because well, they're trying to just kill humanity because they want to be the only ones around.
Yeah.
So it's like it's pure in intention, but not in result.
Yeah.
Like he's like, because Eldred thinks no, humans can live with chaos around. It's not, the Eldar do it, we do it, so why can't humans?
Yeah.
Like they need different guidance. So I was like, no,
guys, trust me, I know all the answers.
no, I saw the acuity. Let me show you again. And even the acuity was probably just like a psycho illusion. You know what I mean? Like you don't even know. So it's
I mean, it's also, I will say, it's kind of similar to the Emperor. Like, oh, we won't give you the full kind of picture, but like, just trust me, it's fine.
It's a lot of it. Just trust me. It's like, why don't you just tell me? I would trust you if you tell me. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, and then they don't trust them and they don't follow through with the plan. It's like, oh,
guys, if only you followed the plan. That's what happened.
I only told you like half the plan, but
gosh, Magnus, why would you broke the stupid door? And then Magnus was like, whoops,
whoopsies.
And even still, he wasn't gonna like go chaos until Lehman Russ was like, "Here I am to kill you," and then Magnus was like, "Whatever, fine. I guess I'm on Horus' side."
Yeah.
And then actually, that is a segue into our next part, which is about Magnus. We're gonna finally cover Magnus and what he's been doing because we haven't talked about him since he got quote unquote killed.
Yeah. 1,000 Suns supercut.
1,000 Suns Towers an hour episode.
1 hour for each sun.
Yeah, 1,000, and then 1,001 hours for Magnus. He gets his own hour. But yes, that'll be next time. I'm pretty sure, unless something happens, but it should be. I think I'm pretty caught up on my notes and writings. So, but until next time, until next time, like, subscribe, do all the things. If you got this far, for some reason, if you watch part 2 and not part 1, let me know if you want the big not super cuts, but like if you want just like a 3-hour long Raven Guard episode or like a 3-hour long Magnus episode or stuff like that instead of these broken up pieces. Whatever works better for you, for the audience. I mean, to a degree. But anyways, until next time, bye.